Hello everyone, welcome to episode 23 of this series. In the last episode, we did finally get this behemoth of a task finished. I am still having to tweak it here and there, and I have made a few tweaks as it stands in the last few episodes. One being I've drastically reduced this time. I've set all of the repeaters on this side back to 1 tick. And the other being down in the down we go. And the other one being down in here. And this is something that I'm still working on, actually. But I need to extend this track even further because we need more time between the detector rail getting popped and the minecart reaching its destination. Because currently what's happening is it's reaching the destination before the hopper locks, which means there will still be stuff in the hopper. Now, I could fix that, but that would provide other issues of its own. What I am going to do, though, is real quick, just take all the bamboo from down in here, and I'm just going to manually shuffle it upstairs. Because that is another issue, is that because of that, we're not getting the fuel we need, but that is an easy fix of just throw more track down. Also, probably keep this minecart running permanently. But that is something that I will do off camera at some point. Same with adding some more variation to this room. And possibly doing some more detail to the lights. But that is something I will do off camera, and I will do that when I get a chance. First things first, though. Oh, beautiful. Gonna go shut that off again. Okay. And if we hit F3 and B so we can see hitboxes, you will see, yep, they start to disappear. Beautiful. Hopper minecarts at work. I am very pleased that out of all of the potential issues for this build, it's just timing and not like a heavy mechanic thing. That is really good to me. Oh, also, I did make a little map. And it, thankfully, literally includes all of the builds except for El Pico's hut and the little skeleton farm. So it's this sort of main area, which is quite nice. Anything else? I think that's about it. I think sack. Gonna quickly run in here and check the bees. Yep. This is why we check the bees, because the glass bottles are going to go everywhere. Some glass bottles. I am going to quickly go and check this one in the back here. That is completely empty. Okay, thought so. Okay, but, you know, 50% working, fully functional farms aside, in this episode, I really want to get a villager trading hall set up, because I really want to have easy access to a few materials, as well as mending books. And they're also actually a really good source of experience. I have a few ideas for the build, but nothing really concrete. One idea I came up with was a sort of temple design, but that's becoming less and less the right pick in my mind. Because as nice as it would be, it doesn't necessarily fit the style that we've got so far. What could be nice, I'm remembering this from Assassin's Creed game I played. It was Syndicate. There was an indoor market in London. And all of a sudden, that has just jumped out to me as, oh, That could be quite interesting. Where we'd put it though is the second issue, because I don't necessarily want to put anything building here. I think detail wise I'd like to put another tree and maybe a few other bits and pieces, but I do love, as we come up the river, seeing this side of the base. I just think it looks really nice. Here is an option. Could also do it over the river. Well, we're here. We'll pick up the nether wart. Or maybe we just make a small building somewhere that just has them in. I don't know. I kind of don't want to do that. I quite like actually like making a big build for things. I think it looks quite nice. But I will have to go and look up pictures of the building that I'm thinking of. To see whether I'm like, okay, yeah, this is absolutely something that we can do. It probably is, or we can at least do something inspired by it. But again, I just need to look up pictures of it. Okay. After we've done that, don't quite know what we're gonna do. I did mention that we might start the what would you call it? The industrial district over by the monument. Now, to do that, we would need to drain the monument. To do that, we would need to go and clear the monument. I kind of want to get, like, oh yeah, also we have new, storage system, which I'll go through in a second. But I kind of want to get, mending on my trident if I'm going to do that. Because that would be my primary weapon. I also need to get mending on the elytra. So a villager trading hall definitely takes priority here. So we are definitely doing that today. But yeah, so we have done a massive shift around of the storage system. It's a hell of a lot more organized. There is space for some other blocks, hence why there are some gaps here and there. It is a hell of a lot more organized now. Furniture's the only one that might need a little bit more organization later on. But otherwise, we've got multiple free chests. I should probably put that in the, there. Otherwise, everything fits in here relatively nicely. All the crafting materials are sorted out. Redstone's neatly organized. Hostile drops. Everything is just neatly and wonderfully, organized. All of these chests, I believe, are, yep, all of those are empty because I've moved a bunch of stuff over here. Didn't put anything there. I've got a few things in there. But there is, what's nice is there's room for the crimson planks and stuff, and there's room for this stuff and that stuff when we get it. We have an entire chest of just cobblestone. So, you know, we've got plenty of materials for castles, which is great. It also takes up nearly half a chest as well, on top of all of the stuff that's in here. And I have reorganized all of the gear, as you can see. So we've got old armor, old tools, and then actual stuff that we might want to use, like bottles and potions and the trident, the fishing rod, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look if I can't find a picture of the indoor market that I'm thinking of. If I can't, we're just going to wing it. Which is perfectly viable. And then we are going to get started on the villager trading hall. I'm going to get it all built up first, and then I'm going to minecart the villagers over. I don't want to minecart them over and not have a place for them to go yet. because it's a very long journey and I don't want to deal with that. So I will bring you guys back once. Well, I'll bring you guys back when it's time for the time lapse. Okay, so real quick, slight change of plans, mainly down to the block palette that I want to use for this. I need to go and get a hell of a lot more clay and a hell of a lot more terracotta. We are also nearly low on cactus dye. So what I'm also going to do once I've done that is I'm going to set up a little cactus farm. What I will quickly do though is just basically run through my plan. So as you can see over the river, I've laid out a bunch of torches. I will be making another bridge somewhere over this end, which will go over there. Now, my whole idea is on either end, this little free part here is going to be an archway entrance. We've then got a 5-block wide walkway, and then we've got little tiny shops on either side. It's going to be 2 layers, so there will be, we only have a total of 13 jobs that we need to fill, so there will be a total of, because there are 16 spaces, so there's going to be 3 little modules that are left empty. That's fine. We can either use them for side exits and entrances, or just general detailing of abandoned little areas, like shut down buildings and stuff. I'm going to use the same block palette of brick, granite, possibly also throw some terracotta in there, all the way throughout the build, bottom level and top level, but I will add a border around the outside, which will be the same blocks as whatever I do for the pillars, which might be deep slate, it might be a stone, I'm not quite decided yet. On the inside, those pillars are going to be green terracotta, and they're going to go up, and they're going to meet with some inner archways, which will meet, they will provide the support for the glass roof. There will be windows on anywhere we can fit them, same with detailing for said windows. Underground is probably where I'll put the zombification and breeding and all of that stuff. Is this overly complicated? Yes. We could very, very simply make one by just building a box. We could literally just build a rectangle, which has all of the villagers we need in it. But no, we're going to do something fun, detailed, and buildy. Now, that does mean that we probably won't be able to start on the industrial district next episode, because it will probably be finishing this episode up. I find this funny because I recorded some voiceover content, and I mentioned, fingers crossed it won't take 2 episodes like every other project we've done. Oh, there. Yeah. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out looking for a mesa, and I'm going to go and get, some more terracotta, and on the way we'll get some more clay. And then I'm not quite... And then once I've done that, I need to smelt it up, so the super smelter's going to get some use. I might add some nether brick. I don't know. I'm not certain on that yet. But I'm either going to use basalt or probably deep slate for the pillars. Maybe spruce or dark oak. Not quite set on that yet. Ooh, strip dark oak for the extra pillars would actually look quite nice, but I can't do angles with it as well. That's the throwaway there, because it doesn't have stairs. It just has the actual block. But yes, so I'm going to... What if that's changed a bit? A little. Okay, I'm going to get on with that, and I will bring you guys back once I've got, hopefully, once I've got all of the resources that I'm going to need for both the actual big marketplace build also the cactus farm. So yeah, so I'll bring you guys back in a bit. Okay, so I have done a lot of. Ooh, actually, while we're here, I'll quickly put a sign on that chest. So I've gone out and done a fair bit of gathering. You know, just a little bit. And I was able to get enough cactus so that we don't actually also have to make the cactus farm today. Currently I've got a lot of the clay smelting into bricks, but we also have plenty for use elsewhere if we need it. Do anything else? Let's see. Oh yeah, I also got a bunch more granite because I saw a granite vein in the side of a mountain and I just got all of it. Oh yeah, and I also did end up finding a texture pack for the animated furnaces that I wanted, and that will be found in the description below if you're interested in getting it yourself. I've also helped this system along a little bit. I am almost thinking I might just need more. I need to find a way to keep the bamboo farm itself running, but keep these ones off. So what I will eventually do is I will just permanently power that one over there. So we can leave the bamboo farm on, we can get a solid stockpile of everything without it needing to smelt. Because right now we're running into the issue of, oh look, everything's still smelting. But that's easily sorted. Oh, I also ended up finding a few temples. Not really much of note. Few horse armors, few books, few apples. I did find a treasure map that I completely forgot to go and do, so that's just gonna sit there. And I forgot to put that bow away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get to work on setting out the first few walls. I'm not going to do the external pillars first. I'm going to do the actual, like, brick, granite. I am considering maybe throwing some regular terracotta and red terracotta in there. Actually, we can test it real quick, because I think that that might also look quite nice. Yeah, no, I actually quite like that. Okay, so we'll be throwing some terracotta in there as well. Although I don't think that red terracotta would fit, judging by that. I'm gonna get the cactus smelted up. And yeah, I will get to work once a few things are finished smelting. I will get to work on sorting out. I need to put another coal in the top one. But yeah, so I will get to work on sorting out the first few layers of that base. And I will, well, we'll probably just cut from here straight into a time lapse. So enjoy, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we'll get on with that now. Okay. I need to dig some stuff out. Okay, so I was going to put a time lapse of me carving out, because I did originally plan to just carve it out and drop the ground. I then realized it's a hell of a lot easier to just bring the ground up. Granted, we have gone for about 50% of our dirt supply, but I think it looks relatively okay. It's going to look a hell of a lot better when grass covers it, and I will probably still tweak it. Like, here I feel as though there could be a little bit more. I'm gonna tweak it as I go, but I sort of need the grass to grow to figure out where the more artificial looking parts are. But now we've got all the torches in place. We've dug out where the floor's going to be. And you're gonna need to be cornered up, aren't you? I need a a little bit more around here. Okay. It's fine. We can figure this out. But yeah, so I'm going to now get to work on putting in the walls. Not so much the floor, because I'm still not certain on that, but we will definitely get to work on the walls. And this part will be time-lapsed. So yeah, so we're going, so yeah, so we're going to get on with that now. Okay, so, this, as you will see over the next few episodes, this takes a lot longer than I anticipate. At the end of the episode, I believe I mentioned, yeah, this is a 2-part thing. Yeah, it turned into a 4-part process. So this is literally the next 4 episodes, is just building this damn fucking villager market. Could have made something simple. Could have made something real fucking simple. But nope. Had to do flashy. Had to do cool. And, you know, aesthetically pleasing to look at. But yeah, for this build, I wanted a different palette. And like I mentioned, I was heavily inspired, or at least I got a bit of the idea from... I remember this market in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is sort of like an indoor market. This looks nothing like what the market actually looks like, but it's the general style that sort of inspired me. Bricks and green, like, sort of like support struts for the like glass on the roof. That whole thing is really like where I got the idea from. So I decided to use bricks and granite for a sort of bit of a what do I always call it? It's not detailing. I can't remember what I call it at the minute. But yeah, so I use brick and granite and polished granite. Variation, that's the word. I used brick as the main like block. I used granite and polished granite for variation. I did try different types of terracotta, but none really sat well. So we just kept it with the brick and the granite and polished granite. Okay, so we've got one big wall done, as well as the 2 on this side. We are basically out of clay though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get like 2 shulker boxes or more of clay, bring that back, smelt it, and I'll bring everyone back once we've done that. I am quite happy with how it's going so far. I did try and put terracotta in there, but it was too sharp of both a texture and color change. The smooth granite, I will admit I'm a little bit hesitant on, but it's a similar color to the granite, so it works a hell of a lot better than the terracotta did. That being said, we could probably fit terracotta in there somewhere. that being said, yeah, we're gonna get on with finding some clay now. Okay, so we have got a fuck ton of clay, and we've also made it in. We've made quite a bit into some bricks. There's a handful left in there from earlier, which I've got to take. So now that we've done that, we are going to get back onto the task of finishing up the walls. Put that terracotta back in there. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna go on with that now. In terms of terraforming, at the point I'm recording this the day that I recorded episode. I'm recording this voiceover. Let me clarify. I'm recording this voiceover the same day that I recorded episode 27. So I have me that's speaking on this voiceover has finished the market completely. So there's going to be a little bit more insight than there will be actual stuff done in this episode. But in terms of the terraforming, I did, like I mentioned, originally plan to dig down, and then I realized that I didn't like that as much, because I wanted it to be fairly symmetrical, and I wanted these really nice stained glass windows on each side. So in order to make that happen, I just built up. But I've done a little bit more shaping of the landscape, as you'll see in the next few episodes, to get it to really fit. Actually, something I should mention. You're going to get. I recorded a little bit too much for episode 44, so I've had 44. I've recorded a little bit too much for episode 24, so I've had to split that up into two parts. You'll be getting the first one Wednesday and the second part Friday. And then it will be back to the normal 1 Monday, 1 Friday, provided nothing else cocks up. Which, given my luck, probably cock up somewhere. But for now, everything seems to be going relatively smoothly. I did end up having to do a fair bit of gathering of both granite and especially clay. I didn't quite realize how much clay you needed to make bricks. So what I might do once we update to 1.19, which we will do once Optifine updates, as I'll mention this again in episode 27, but by that point I'll probably have updated to 1.19. Because, you know, pre-recording time travel bullshit. What I'll probably do is try and set up, someone's probably going to make a automatic clay farm. If I had to guess, someone like Il Mango will. He's already made a fucking warden farm. Holy shit! Like, okay, we will try and make that at some point. maybe. Just for bragging rights. I immediately what comes to mind is because with the 1.19 update, if you put mud on a block with the mud block on a block that has a dripstone stalactite hanging underneath it, it will turn that mud block into clay, which we can then pick up. My immediate thought is have an observer observing the mud block. When it turns to clay, send a pulse to some sort of piston system that will move the clay out. And then put the clay maybe a TNT chamber of some kind. That kind of comes to mind. Or just set up like a long row of manually done mud to clay. We could also just do that. I don't know, we'll see. Although it might be wise to find a better way of getting clay because I'm actually using it a lot for trading for emeralds. Actually, I hadn't expected it, but you know, it's something like 10 clay for 1 emerald is actually really good. And it has been very beneficial to getting some better equipped gear. I decided to use the good old deep slate, would you call it manufactured blocks? Like the ones you make with the stone cutter? I decided to use those to make the support pillars. And I have those going all the way up. And about halfway, I have a little band going around the outside. That whole like structure will change a little bit over the next couple of episodes while I get some of the like exact layering in properly, but not by much. But I decided to go with deep slate because it provided quite a nice okay. Granite and brick are both rather light. Deep slate's quite dark, creates a nice contrast. And it also actually blends kind nicely with the blocks I use for the, I guess, roof supports. Which I eventually use a mixture of green concrete and green terracotta. And that actually blends quite nicely. Something that I think I've commented on before, but that conduit is actually incredibly helpful just having around base. And to be honest, I'm surprised more people don't make conduits around their base. Because it doesn't just activate while you're underwater, it activates while it's raining. And it gives you it's not like haste 2, but it's still an increase to your braking speed. And it also gives you permanent water breathing. So, in episode 47, we make a bridge, and it happens to be within range of the conduit. That was so much easier than making the other bridge. Man, that was so much easier, because I didn't have to keep coming up for air, because I just had water breathing. Like, that is really helpful. And I mean, once we get a beacon around base, that's going to be even more powerful. Ooh. Ooh. Now that's an idea. I've been considering putting a very large tree in that big portion of land towards the ocean from our house, because we don't really have anything there yet. And I don't necessarily want to use it for a big building, because I quite like how it looks at the minute. What if we also worked a beacon in there? That could look quite nice. I'll think about that. But yeah, we are going to do the wither. We're going to kill the wither at some point. I think we'll probably do it once we've got the industrial district built up, because we don't really need a beacon yet, because we're digging anything out. I say that like I haven't dug out 10 fucking shulker boxes of sand recently purely to prepare for draining the fucking monument. But I digress. At some point we will kill the wither. Maybe episode 40. It depends how quickly we can get the industrial district up and running to a degree. I don't need to make every single farm. I just want to make the Guardian farm, an iron farm, a gold farm, and a gunpowder farm. That's all I want to make for the minute. We will also eventually put an amethyst farm, a slime farm, probably also a drowned farm just for good measure. There'll be a raid farm nearby. You know, we're going to put a lot of farms there. The only ones that might not be right there would be a magma cube farm and a blaze farm and a possibly also a wither skeleton farm. Something that I've got to remember with that magma cube farm, I've got to make it so that I can get shroom light. Not shroom light. What's the new light source? There's a new light source that you get when frogs kill the smallest form of magma cubes. I want to have a fair supply of that. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, that magma cube farm's going to be interesting. Especially since probably the best way to do it is finding a bastion with a magma cube. Spawner segment thingamabob. I also just generally like need to just sit down and get like a double chest of each wood type, just so that we have it. Because right now we keep on running out of wood. Or like maybe, I mean, there's 8 types of wood, so half a double chest each seems fair. I'm gonna do that at some point then. Yeah, that's a very good idea, because I'm really starting to run out of wood blocks, and that is really bad. Especially since we use wood a lot. In terms of the flooring here, while we're on this sort of segment, I've decided to go with strip dark oak with some regular dark oak for variation. And it's a nice dark contrast to the quite light brick and granite walls. And it will also contrast quite nicely with some of the more colourful flooring for the actual, I guess, market rooms, whatever you want to call them. The actual rooms that will house the villagers. In terms of flooring, I've decided to go with glazed terracotta. Something that I don't actually use all that often. And that real big bit of color contrasts quite nicely with the muted, rather sort of, yeah, no, muted works best. The muted tones of the dark oak. I think it works quite nicely. End of voiceover for episode 36. Okay, so this is actually going to be, this is 100% a 2-episode build. I'd hoped it wouldn't have been, however, it is. I've had to go away and find a lot more clay multiple times now. Yeah, nah, this is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this stuff on this side. I'll do that off camera. And episode 24, we will start work on the roof and also putting in the windows and the rest of the floor. It does look a little bit bland right now. That is mainly because there are still no windows. And the roof's not on yet. And a few other things aren't in there yet. Once that's all done, episode 25 will probably be actually getting it filled with people. I'm going to have the most needed villagers down on this level and the less needed ones up top. Like, trying to think of ones off the top of my head. The armorers, the toolsmith, those sorts. They can go fishermen. They can go up. And each of these little rooms is going to be somewhat thematically detailed towards the occupation of whoever's in them. Not sure what I'm doing with the sort of outlying bits right now. I'll figure something out. But yes, so I think that is probably going to be where we're going to call it today. That was a little bit of a pain in the ass to get started, but well, we're starting now. But yeah, next episode we'll hopefully get the build finish, and then the episode after we will get villagers moved into it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.